Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 117th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and welcome to this episode 117. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Also, down below, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, so make sure you follow me. So yeah, as y'all can see, I got my cherry blossom edition of the Washington Nationals hat. You know, elegant hat, elegant snapback. Not to also mention, I got some merch that's coming out, or I'm in the experimental phases of my merch. I'm in the prototype phase. I'm working on, I think what I'm gonna do for within the next couple episodes, I want to just kind of, I don't know. I might take a poll. I might show y'all the prototype, or I might just wear it on different episodes. Just start wearing it. I think I might just start wearing it, man. Like, you know, I'm not gonna mass produce a lot of merch. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanna be in a prototype phase where, you know, I get the proof of concept and see if it's something I could like rock on an everyday, daily basis, you know? Like right now, besides baseball fitteds and sports hats, I wear blank t-shirts and stuff, but I want to be able to put, you know, my work on a shirt. And I want you guys to be able to go out and to rep me, you know? So anyways, that's coming out soon. Like I said, I'm going to have different stages of it. It's one of my goals for this year was to start my whole merch for this podcast, you know? So be on the lookout for that. Sorry, Mom, my nose itched. Yeah, my mom don't like when I itch my nose because she say it looks like I'm doing that booger sugar. And I'm drug free. I don't do none of that shit, you know? But, you know, I get it, you know? But my nose itch. I'm not going to sit here and let my nose just itch and just ignore it. I hate when people say, you know what's funny? When people say you got an itch or something, they say, hey, man, it's only in your mind. You imagining the itch. Like, we can't prove that it's. I'm like, nigga, my shit itch and itch. Damn it. Anyways, here we go. Yeah, so first order of business, as you guys know, over in Trippin with Theobold land, that we coming to you live and hot. Well, not live, but you know, we coming to you live from Theobold Studios, where we do it ourselves. Do-it-yourself productions. You know, this is the I gotta come up with a name for this room, but this is a segment of my room. This is where I conduct my business, kind of like the Bat Cave. You know, I need something that has a Theo, like the Theo Cave. Now that's kind of weird. I'm not gonna do no Theo Cave. I'm gonna come up with a name for it. If you guys got a name for the room, put it in the chat, and I might call it that. You know, and you never know, it might end up on some merch. I don't want to do that because if I do that, then I might have to pay y'all royalties. But if you guys still want to come up with a name for the room, I'm open to suggestions. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get to the tongue twisties, because you know over here in Trippin with Theobold land, we gotta try to minimize the trippage. You know, as you guys know, I trip in speech and thought. But here we go. Today's tongue twisty is brought to you by the letter G. Here we go. Number one. How much ground would a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground? One more again. How much ground could a groundhog hog if a groundhog could groundhog? I said it the other way around. How much ground would a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground? Number 2, Greta Gruber grabbed a group of green grapes. Greta like to grab shit. Okay. Greta Gruber grabbed a group of green grapes. I ain't never met no one named Greta. Greta Gruber grabbed a group of green grapes. Last one. Gus the groundhog gathered goodies from Gally's garden. One more again. Gus the groundhog gathered goodies from Gally's garden. I ain't never seen no groundhog gather shit. Groundhogs eat as they go. They don't gather. Okay, for the purpose of the tongue twisty, we gotta. Gus the groundhog gathered goodies from Gally's. Oh, I said Gally's. Gale's. I gotta get some glasses. Gus the groundhog gathered goodies from Gale's garden. So yay, tongue twisties are done. We got that out the way. Boom. As my Uncle Sammy would say. Like boom just means that's the end of the shit. Boom. All right, that's like the unelegant way of saying I digressed. Boom. All right, so here we go. So today's episode, I think I may have done something different or done something similar to this in the past, but I found a website. So today's episode is stutter centric. Right? I got to start doing more stutter centric episodes because that's part of the reason why I named this podcast Trippin with Theobold, because I trip in speech and thought. As you guys can see, I got the Trippin speech logo thing there. So when you guys see that, you know what this is about. So here we go. So found a website. Website is the Stuttering Foundation. Right? So I looked this up and I stumbled across this website by doing a Google search because I'm really interested in, research papers, like I want to see what type of research has been done and is being done, and like what are some of the theories and some of the like just what's the talk of the town when it comes to stuttering. That's what I want to know. I want to be plugged in, so this is a great plug-in website. Pause. So let me just kind of go through some things that I liked about the website, and I encourage you guys, if you're interested, to browse and search through, take a gander, as they say. But now they got a podcast. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm definitely going to download some of their podcasts, man. Like I'm just looking at some of the titles, right? You got clinical problem solving, what we do when we feel stuck as clinicians. Like one question I have when it comes to to clinicians or to therapists is, why did they get involved, right? What's their story for how they got involved, Because I had in my past, I got to sneeze. Don't you hate when I hate when when you got to sneeze and it just won't come out. But when I was young, I had 2 speech therapists, one session each. So I had 2 speech therapy sessions as a kid, because I mean, I might be sounding fine now, but there's a lot going on in my brain as I talk right now that I just got used to. But in previous episodes, one thing that I realized, or that I can remember, is there was a period where I didn't even know I was stuttering, right? That's the scary part, like I think there was a point where I was talking fine, and then all of a sudden I just wasn't talking fine. I was stuttering bad. I couldn't get my words out, but in my head I was talking fine. That was the scary part, so it was like I had to watch people's facial expressions or their reactions, and then I had to be told, hey, look, you're not talking right, but I remember I had 2 speech therapists. I remember one came to the house and he just had a conversation with me or whatever while he was drawing something, and then he gave my mom the bill, and my mom waved and was like, yeah, that's the last you'll see of him because he's too expensive. And then the other one I had came to my school, and like that shit was crazy because I didn't get no heads up. No one told me. No one sat me down and said, "Hey, look, you don't talk right. There's something wrong. You gotta have special sessions." Like I didn't get none of that. Right. I remember I was getting ready for recess and I'm getting ready to go play. And the teacher, I forgot who it was. It was either I forgot who it was that told me that. But they were like, as we're getting ready to go play, they're like, okay, everyone line up. Andre, you have to go to the table with so and so. And it was a lady. I forgot her name, but she wore a blue dress. I remember she wore like a blue long, like it was like a blue dress, and I think she had like a white. I'm like in the second, third grade, and she had like a white jacket, and she was like, fairly young. I would say if I had to guess, she may have been like late 20s, early 30s. Real nice, but I remember I had to like read words off of a card, and if I could read words, I got candy, you know. But no one told me why I was there. It was like, yo, I want to go play. Why the fuck can I? Like in my mind, I'm like, why can't I go play? What did I do? I didn't get in any trouble. Why am I here? So, and I remember all the students were just looking at me like, ooh, he got to go to the table. He can't go outside to play. Ooh. And I remember I wasn't like plugged, like I wasn't like I didn't even know I was even there. All I remember was I was reading these words off a card, and if I could say it without stuttering, I would get a piece of candy. And then basically I could read the words off the card fine, but when I asked for my candy, I couldn't get the words out. I would stutter the name of the candy. I did a joke about this, and then she took the candy back. I couldn't say it, and I ended up cussing her out. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go to the bathroom and use potty language, or she told me to get all the bad words out in the bathroom, and I was in there for like 3-4 hours, and then she maybe like 2 hours. She gave up and left, and then my mom was like, "Okay, well that's it." Right, but no one like sat me down and said why. So, anyways, where I'm coming back at with all this is, I'm just curious as to why clinicians or why therapists got into speech therapy in the first place. Right, I'm just really interested in backstories. But anyways, what else we got, man? So yeah, we got some like good episodes. It looks like Rupert's story, stuttering and building community in academia. Okay, 40 minutes. 60 years of clinical teaching and counseling. Reflections with Dr. David Luderman. Yeah, I'm intrigued. The active ingredients. Arts series and patience, habit, and other barriers to change. So a lot of these people are coming from the University of Maryland, which is like where I grew up at. So it's pretty interesting how everything is coming in full circle. Then you have more art series. I don't know what arts is. Oh, okay. Avoidance reduction therapy for stuttering. Interesting. Avoidance reduction therapy. Wow, I'm interested in that. What else we have here? And so we got lots of pages. Let me see what the last one was. So this one came out. This episode dropped on, and they're pretty like up to date. Looks like they do one a month, I think, or maybe two a month. Okay, one in January. Maybe it's weekly. Let's go to the last one. When was the first one they had? So this was wow. Okay, 2019. Solution focused goal development. So yeah, these are like I need to be really getting up on these, right? This is gonna help me or answer a lot of questions. Stuttering in schools, one district's efforts to reimagine therapy. Okay. Communication over fluency. Interesting. Introduction to Stuttering Foundation podcast. I'm probably gonna start with that one just to see what they're talking about, because I like to see where people start and what their goals were, and then I want to see like how they grew. And you could tell that they grew because they got 12 pages of podcasts. So I'm definitely going to subscribe, listen, check them out. What else we got here? And then the facts. I want to look at this too. Like you got basic you got basic research, right? So you got brain research, genetic research. Then you got all these articles. New gene findings point to brain cell type in stuttering. Alzheimer's disease studies suggest new avenues for stuttering research. Stuttering, why we need a broader view to help children and adults who stutter. I like that. Differences in the brains of people who stutter. Ooh, that's going to be a good one right there. That's what I want to look at. This is by Dr. Kate Watkins of St. Anne's College, University of Oxford. Future research and clinical directions of stuttering, global considerations, right? Because I had a theory about this, right? I had a theory where, what if I'm just talking the wrong language? Like, what if, I'm going to get my questions answered. Oh, yeah, how you like my cut, man? Shout out to my mom. My mom bought me this mug when we went to the observatory. Oh, no, we went to Griffith. I said the observatory. We went to Griffith Park Observatory. I saw this math mug and I was like, Mom, this is me. All me. About 3 equations on this mug. We got Euler's identity. E equals MC squared. Dope mug. Anyway, what else we got, man? Okay. It's not stuttering, but what is it? Okay, people. Okay, let me see what. Okay. The evidence is in. One size does not fit all. My client isn't fluent, but is it stuttering? This is exactly like the line of research I'm looking for or answers I'm looking for, because I think in previous episodes I talked about how, there's certain people that like can't produce sound when they want to produce sound, right? Like I had something back in the day where like my vocal cords would lock up and I couldn't like make sound, right? So is that stuttering, right? So we got to clarify. We got to like categorize all this shit, what I was saying before was with the fluency in, different languages, like one of my theories is or was like, what if from a genetic standpoint, you're not supposed to speak a certain language, like what if, if I was born in France and French was my first language, would I stutter if I spoke French, right? Or what if I was born somewhere else where there was a different language? Like what if like basically what I'm trying to get at is there a priority of different languages or sound combinations that are more tied to specific genes, Like what if, like, for example, from a priority standpoint, my first language is supposed to be Spanish, then French, then German, then English, right? And what if like English is one of those where it's like, yeah, you're gonna struggle with this, right? That's something that I had a question on, right? So it looks like this probably got addressed. So what else do we have here? This child isn't fluent. Is it stuttering or something else? Stress and stuttering. These are great topics, man. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Not likely about Riley study. Okay. Update from Purdue. Final year of stuttering. New assessment tool for use with parents. Because that was one thing I think I brought up before. Is like, how do they get the numbers for the number of people that stutter, right? Like, are teachers, are they supposed to like kind of like secretly keep count? Like if people can't pronounce certain things, you just kind of have to like mark it down and it kind of gets marked that way? Or is it who brings their kid to a therapist, right? Like how do they keep track of the number of who stutters and who doesn't? Brain development and stuttering, that goes back to 2013. Is language a risk factor in stuttering? That's what I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Advances in our understanding of adult neurogenic stuttering, surprising pathway implicated in stuttering. Wow, they got a lot of dope articles, man. Brain changes in those who stutter involve more than speech. 2011. Preschool male to female data. Interesting. 2011. What's the earliest research? Wow, look at all the research they got, man. This is dope, man. 2006. What's the earliest article that goes back to? Okay, 2000. Early research in early childhood stuttering, treating coexisting stuttering language and phonology disorders. Phonology, okay. Let me just see. I just want to see like the format of some of these articles. Speech language clinicians have reported the onset of stuttering during the course of treating a youngster's language or speech sound impairments. Clinicians who face this dilemma must make decisions about therapy with little information to guide decision making. Wow, they got deep on that. Okay. I think this is the abstract, right? Or is this the whole article? Okay, no, they just gave it to you in that form. Let me go back to the first one. But like I said, now this is a dope website, man. I'm going to spend a lot of time here. I'll probably do like one episode a month on this just to kind of see what they know. See what okay. Like these don't have to be PDFs or whatever. Like I'll just, like I said, and then what else they have here? They have famous people who stutter. I see they got Kenyon Martin. They got Marilyn Monroe. You got Winston Churchill. Interesting. I think that's the King speech guy. Is that King? Not King. Is that King Henry V? Okay. Anywho, this is a dope site, man. Like I said, I'm gonna dive in, see what they have there. See what they're looking at. And you never know, maybe like, some of my experiences might help them uncover more theories or mysteries about this, phenomenon. I don't want to call it a disease and I'm like that. It's something interesting, because my whole theory is, and I didn't see any articles when I was reading through it, but to me, I think stuttering has more to do with how you hear shit. It has more to do with how you hear, because there's times when like my hearing, I can just feel it when I'm going to stutter. Like I know it. It's not even like, it's not like something that my mouth does. It's like more of how I just hear shit. It's like I'm talking in a vacuum. It's like I almost don't even hear my voice, or it's like, or everything else around me just gets louder, So I think it has more to do with audio shit, for lack of a better word, That's my theory, at least. Like there's times when like I just hear shit weird, or my hearing is like weird. And I know to shut the fuck up. Like today's not gonna be a good day. Like however I'm hearing shit, it's like it's not gonna come out right. Right? It's almost like my vocal process or my vocals don't reverberate inside my body. Like I think you can hear. I think like your body is a vacuum, and when you talk, like the way the audio shit bounces off inside of your body and the way you hear shit, I think that has a big play into like stuttering. But like I said, we'll see. Like I said, I don't know nothing. I know nothing. I come in peace. I'm just asking questions and I'm telling you what I've seen and what I've experienced, So that's what the internet is all about. That's what the internet's all about. The internet's about, having knowledge. You might have a piece of the puzzle. I might have a little piece of the puzzle. This person might have a piece of the puzzle. When you all bring your pieces together, you can make a sandwich and we can all feast and learn and grow. That's what it's about. It's about. But yeah, so that's just an introduction to that site. Like I just basically first I looked over, or I saw an article And then I just kind of traced it back to that website. And I'm like, oh, wow, they got a lot of stuff. And they got a podcast. So I'm going to be plugged in. Pause. Anywho. Once again, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. Tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. And that concludes this episode of Trippin' with Theobold. Once again, without further ado, I meant to say without further ado, or what did I mean to say? No. In the meantime, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.